Women face several barriers while using public transport. These include harassment, weak lighting, broken footpaths, limited walking spaces, unreliable schedules, weak complaint system, and social pressure that discourages women from traveling alone.
Research from Pakistan shows that harassment in public places, especially in the public transport, is a key issue. The security audit report in public transport now shows that 82% of the women reported sexual harassment in the bus stop and 90% in the buses.
It reflects a broader pattern of insecurity that women experience in Pakistan. For Islamabad and Rawalpindi particularly, UN Women Pakistan cited Shirakat research stating that 1 in 2 female commuters in Rawalpindi and Islamabad felt uncomfortable on public transport when men are around.
Women mobility matters because it's not just about how women are inconvenient and unable to perform in the society. It takes their participation in the public and social life.
When a woman cannot travel safely, she may avoid job opportunities, miss classes, delay medical visits, or depend on male family members even for their routine movement. Her access to resources that are needed for survival will be very limited.
This means that mobility becomes a social justice issue. A city cannot be inclusive if half of its population is not able to move freely and safely.
This is why gender-responsive transport planning is important, meaning transport systems must be designed by considering women's real experiences, not only general traffic flow or engineered targets.
The daily journey of a woman begins even before entering a bus. It's about the long distance until they reach the bus stop and then again coming back from home.
First mile and last mile journey are major problems that are faced by the woman. First mile means the journey from home to bus stop, and the last mile journey means from bus stop to the final station.
Even if the bus services are available, women still feel unsafe while traveling in the waiting areas, changing routes or returning home after sunset.
A PIDE study on Islamabad-Rawalpindi metro bus shows that women's mobility is affected by the quality, safety, reliability, and dignity of public transport. It also highlights that traditional services such as vans and Suzukis can expose women to more discomfort and harassment.
The PIDE studies on female mobility in Islamabad and Rawalpindi found that the metro bus system improved the service quality of public transport for women. This study collects data from female passengers including women, students, work ladies, as well as academic travelers.
The metro bus system is often seen as comparatively safer option for many women, especially when compared with older, informal or overcrowded transport services.
The discussion highlights that more than 90% of the women suggested that they feel safe and less harassment issues in the metro bus as compared to the older means of transportation like vans and Suzukis.
However, metro is not a complete solution. Women still face problems such as overcrowding, limited reserved seats, difficulty reaching stations, and weak transport connections to areas that are not covered by metro routes.
It is a planned city, but its transport infrastructure still doesn't fully support women's safe mobility.
The Islamabad Master Plan review process recorded public concerns about the city's transport infrastructure. According to interim report, 46.5% of respondents wanted a good transport system, 28% of women wanted good footpaths, and 41.5% were concerned about the non-availability of cycle or motorcycle tracks.
Transport is closely connected with the urban planning. If schools, hospitals and workplaces are far from each other, then women need the reliable and safe means of transportation to reach them.
The Sustainable Urban Transportation Index assessment for Islamabad and Rawalpindi reported that active and public transport accounted for 51.2% of commuting model share.
Many people still depend on the walking and public transport even though the system remains incomplete.
At the metropolitan scale, another transport profile reported approximate transit coverage of around 11% of land area. This suggests that formal mass transit coverage remains limited compared with the wider urban area.
The public transport is not just a women's issue, it's also an economic, environmental and urban government issue.
But for women, the consequences are sharper. because safety concerns, harassment, social norms, and household responsibilities create additional barriers.
The task for policymakers. Policymakers must understand that safe mobility requires more than just buses.
It requires a complete system, safe roads, proper sidewalks, zebra crossings, lighting, complaint mechanisms, women-friendly stations, trained staff, reliable schedules, affordable fares, and accessible routes.
Women must also be included in the policy-making processes. Policy design without women's voices often fail to address the real-life issues.
Transport planning should ask practical questions, like women reach the bus stop safely? Is the waiting area secure? Is there lighting? Is there a working complaint system? Are buses frequent? Are reserved seats respected? Is the service available beyond peak hours?
Recommendations. First, Islamabad needs safer bus stops with proper lighting, seating, shade, clear signboards, CCTV where they are appropriate to use.
Second, sidewalks and zebra crossings must be repaired so women can safely walk to and from bus stops.
Third, complaint systems should be easy to use, quick to respond, and publicly monitored. A helpline only works if a woman trusts that complaint will be taken seriously and efficiently.
Fourth, gender desegregated transport data should be published regularly. Authorities need to know how many women use each route, what problems they face, and where safety complaints are most common.
The women priority transport services like pink buses should also be operated beyond the peak hours.
Sixth, female staff, guards, conductors, inspectors, and drivers should be increased because many women feel safer when female staff is present.
Finally, women should be directly consulted in route planning, station design, safety audits, and public transport monitoring. A city's success should not be measured only by the roads and infrastructure.
It should be measured by how safely and freely women can move through it.
Women mobility is not a luxury.
It is a fundamental right.
Safe mobility equals to
Equal city.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.